I wanted to go over another example of an experiment that would be affected by asymmetrical transfer. This is an experiment with a tutoring condition and a no tutoring condition. Each participant in this experiment took a certain exam 2 times, 1 time with tutoring and 1 time with no tutoring. This experiment is a within subjects design because each participant went through both the tutoring condition and the no tutoring condition. This experiment only has one independent variable, which is just whether or not tutoring was provided. The first level is tutoring, and the second level is no tutoring. 2 of the participants were assigned to the A-B order. These 2 participants took the exam with tutoring at time 1 and with no tutoring at time 2. 2 of the participants were assigned to the B-A order. These 2 participants took the exam with no tutoring at time 1 and with tutoring at time 2. We can see that when a participant is assigned to the A-B order, they do well on the exam at time 1 because the tutoring is helping them, and they do pretty well on the exam at time 2 because the tutoring is still helping them. Once the participant has been tutored, they can't be untutored. We can see that when a participant is assigned to the BA order, they do more poorly on the exam at time 1 because they've never been tutored, but they do pretty well on the exam at time 2 because now the tutoring is helping them. The mean of these 2 exam scores and the mean of these 2 exam scores are the same. The reason why the 2 means are the same is because these 2 exam scores are benefiting from the tutoring at time 1, and these 2 exam scores are also benefiting from the tutoring that happened at time 1. The line connecting these 2 means is flat. This AB line is flat because it's connecting this mean of 87.5 with this other mean of 87.5. These 2 means are further apart because these 2 exam scores benefited from the tutoring that happened at time 2, but these 2 exam scores didn't benefit from any tutoring because these 2 participants went through the no tutoring condition first. So this BA line is connecting these 2 means right here. It's connecting the mean of 87.5 with this mean of 72.5. We can see an interaction here because we can see that the 2 lines are not parallel. When we look at the 2 participants who are assigned to the AB order, we don't see any effect of tutoring because the mean of these 2 exam scores is equal to the mean of these 2 exam scores, and the line is flat. When we look at these 2 participants who are assigned to the BA order, we do see an effect of tutoring because the mean of these 2 exam scores is higher and the mean of these 2 exam scores is lower. That's why this line drops down. So this experiment has asymmetrical transfer, which is why we see an interaction between the independent variable and the order of conditions in this graph. I said that if an experiment has asymmetrical transfer, then the difference between the mean of condition 1 and the mean of condition 2 is confounded. I said that the difference between the 2 means will either be exaggerated or it'll be shrunken down. In the taste test study, the difference between the means was exaggerated because the 2 milk ratings that were low brought down the mean of the 4 milk ratings and created a larger difference between the means of the 2 conditions. In this experiment, the difference between the means of the 2 conditions is actually shrunken down because these 2 exam scores up here are pretty high because even though there was no tutoring at time 2, these 2 exam scores benefited from the tutoring that happened at time 1. And these 2 high exam scores are bringing up the average of the 4 no tutoring exam scores in this column. Since these 2 exam scores are bringing up this average, the difference between these 2 means is shrunken down. And the reason why they're shrunken down is because we have asymmetrical transfer. We have a carryover effect that's confounding the difference between the means of these 2 conditions. These 2 exam scores up here are benefiting from a carryover effect, but these two exam scores down here are not benefiting from any carryover effect. So